Meanwhile, in the district court defendant lobby. Good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Nick, Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. What? Huzzah! You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you gotta make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. It just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone with your flight. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What's it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now. The dashing young lawyer's flying fabulously from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look in your eye? Oh yes, her. And him. And now the case of... Ah, what? You oughta get on with it. Oh, sorry. I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So? Well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. Not that that's relevant to anything that I'm saying right now, but I think everyone wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. What, then Billy Bob Johns sounds unfriendly? I wonder if that is to our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you'd win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Huh? That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I have refused to acknowledge its legitimacy. Okay, it's irrelevant as to whether you acknowledge, whatever. But I guess, I bet you think Legends is canon too, am I right? It did not count, do you hear me? You can yell as loud as you want, doesn't change anything. If we were to look on the court records, it would say that my defendant was not guilty, and you lost. You lose, etc., etc., etc. She must still be upset about what happened last time. No shit, Phoenix. You have no chance. Zero. Zilch nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is not in the nature of Von Karma to lose at anything. Well, you lost already, so... I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. What, me? Personally? I'm not on trial here. Guilty? What are you talking about? It will be my ultimate revenge. But it's not like it'll bring her dad back. Yikes. There, opening statement complete. What? That wasn't an opening statement. She just harassed me. Now let's hurry and wrap up this waste of time. Very well. You may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma. Detective Gumshoe, get up there now. Sorry to keep you from work, but as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective. Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well. I would like to begin by shedding light on the events in question. At your service, sir. All right, Detective, you may proceed with your testimony. The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. I'm gonna have to dispute that real quick. Snow simply means that it was generally somewhere between, or at best, I guess, in this case, 30 to 30, what, 34-ish, because you can get flurries, and, you know, higher you go, degrees Fahrenheit. So extremely cold might be a bit of a stretch. I guess maybe if you never get snow, then it must be extremely cold. But otherwise, 32, I'm not gonna lie, is not all that cold. All the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. Cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. Wow, sucks to suck. He was beaten to death. Here's the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepts this into evidence. A blunt object. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Stop talking. Stop. Let's just do this. Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. That's not what I fucking asked you. I didn't ask you the question yet. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day. The snow. Let me see. There's got to be more to this. What's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court record. Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? When you say all the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and staff were there. Regina the animal trainer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course, the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regent the tiger was there as well. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to? Gina was playing with the regent, while Mo went back to his room, tired from work, and tired from being a clown in general. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you? It seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. Well, say that out loud, you stupid fucker! Phoenix. I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15 p.m. Okay, no, not a problem, Val. We've got a witness. Fuck. This is totally meaningless. Time to move on. All right. We'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Why wouldn't you just do it now? You stupid. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end? A wooden box? That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carrying the box, huh? There was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. It was a rather strange wooden box. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked. Not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say? Wooden box. Maybe my only chance, so I might as well ask some questions. You mind telling us what was inside the box? Well, when we found the box, it was locked tighter than Fort Knox. We took it back to the station, cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle. Bottle? What is that, detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box? There's only one little bottle in that huge box? I wonder if that has some sort of special meaning? According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? What am I doing? Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm being totally unprofessional here. Alright, there we go. You've done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? The police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is that it is something the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene. But you did find the perpetrator, allegedly. No. I bet he made it disappear with magic. Ho ho! That's an outrageous thing to say, Detective Gumshoe. Well, never mind. Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now. I guess that's all we're gonna get out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness. I'm not even off the stand yet. Obviously, but that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy. The shoulders of an ox. Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Comma, call your next witness. I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist. I wonder if Trillo will show up on the stand as well. Please state your name and occupation for the record. What the fuck was my voice for him? I don't even remember. My name is Trilloquist. I'm employed as an operatic tenor? That's a word? Okay. Oh no, it was like a smooth voice, I think. The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist. That robe must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with the song. Me. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilt or innocence. Decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? Had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Trillo, you know better than to insult a judge? Shut up. Just look at your nose. You would think you'd have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly I want to punch you in the face on the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds. What's going on here? Order. I demand to know who the witness is. No, don't worry about me. Oh shit, ouch. You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now let's proceed. Okay, then get the fuck off the stand, witness. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge. I mean the clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene? You're sure of that? Without a doubt, he had on his silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How could you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown. That's right, dress boy. Well, since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime? He's got a point. What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit. Why is that? Here's absolute proof. Silk hat. This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant. Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there'd be no reason for this hat to be at the scene. Well done, Miss Von Comma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done. Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say? Okay. I guess she's the boss again today. You're not the boss of me now. Shut up. Clown. What? Funny like a clown? You're talking about Mo? Of course I'm talking about that old fart. He's so pathetic I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way to keeling over for good. Poor guy. He didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first-place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack. Then what happened? Why the Plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. It was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Thinking in your nice, warm lodging house has been a better idea. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness. But I'm a good thinker. At least my teacher always said I was. Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the wax out of your ears, lawyers nowadays. You're like talking to a brick wall. Max three-piece getup, jeez. Could you be any more dense? All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a little bit more effort into preparing your questions. Yeah, his questions fucking suck. You saw Max and only Max, right, Trillo? That's right, and that makes him the killer. There was only one person headed that way that night. That makes quite a bit of sense and makes Max one suspicious character. There's more to this than meets the eye. Is there something more amiss here? It's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well? What? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose the witness could have seen? Nope. Ringmaster? That's the victim. That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have been able to see the ringmaster as well. Ah! Obviously the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room. Is that, according to the defendant, a likely story? If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he, just as the witness stated, at the scene of the crime? Ugh, I see. It seems at this stage I have no reason to doubt the witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions. He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now let's move along with the testimony. Chilla wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of the bitter love triangle with Regina. It's probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Around what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose that would have been around, hey, what time was it? I think it was around, I'd say a bit after 10:30 p.m., I think. Practice ended at 10 p.m., so you hung around the lodging house the entire time? I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is... Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? It's because you have to answer my goddamn questions, you stupid puppet. Why can't you just believe that we'd be standing outside in that weather? For the exact reasons that we said. Again, you stupid fucking puppet. Well, maybe you were waiting for somebody. Ooh, what? Who said we were waiting for someone? Mr. Phoenix Wright, we can all do without your offhanded theories. Yeah, fuck her. But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm on to something. That's not what you tell her, Mr. Wright. Who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold that night? Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. Tamer. What? You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw. Don't you forget it. Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. That was dumb, Your Honor. All right. There is obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. Oh my god. He destroyed himself. That makes perfect sense. Oh, shit. What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime. However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading out. There's absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer. I guess you got me. All right. I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true. I was waiting for Regina. Blah, pain. Who gets hurt and is like, oh, pain. Pain. Oh. I love Ben so much. Can two witnesses be in the defendant's stand? What do you mean the defendant's stand? There, in the US, there's no such thing as a defendant's stand. There's like, we have our table. And yes, two defendants can sit at the same table, if that's what you mean. But in terms of witness stand, generally no. There can only be one witness at a witness stand, meaning that puppet would have to go fuck off. The only way I could see that puppet being like a thing is if it was like the only way for a child to communicate. And the judge was like, well, I mean, I guess. Don't volunteer things. Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was. I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose? What's the matter? You think humans have a monopoly on marriage? The matter of, actually, yes, the matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. More pain! Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. You were going to propose, you, a puppet. Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. That's exactly what it means. I guess you're right. No, that's not right at all. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. Well, you're organic matter, you stupid son of a... Actually, exactly. No! None of this is okay. His honor is looking a little less than honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with our cross-examination. What was with that sigh at the end? Shut up. Tired of this fucking puppet. By proposal, you mean you're proposing marriage, right? To Regina? Of course that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't going to propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang together. That's actually really funny. Right, Ben? Yeah. Got it. That's the truth. What was exactly that you plan on giving her? You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that can match Regina's beauty. Answer his question. What was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. Oh my god. Who would have thought? Engagement ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs. What's just proposing to her? What the fuck do you think he was gonna answer? Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here. Francisca's wit looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut some up for a long time. Pain equals bad. Push on anyways, cause who gives a fuck? 'Cause fuck him, that's why. Maybe something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever gone. Oh, fuck. I advise you cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please provide their testimony specifically about the engagement ring? I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. It's not a bathrobe. You know what a fucking bathrobe looks like, you idiots? The engagement ring. It's exactly it's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina is going to love it. Just a ring. What's the matter, Nick? Well, there's got to be something I can catch him on. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You gotta be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off? I'm sorry. Really? You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing. Really? I don't think so. So you went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times, but I lost count. But that uppity snob kept getting in the way. Uppity snob? Uppity snob, he couldn't be talking about me, Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm gonna saw his wood block in half, not with magic. Well, they always say that loves create rivalries. So what about this present? So you're still thinking of trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am. I spec 3 months' salary on this thing. I'm not gonna give it up that easily. I wonder how much he receives for appearing in the circus. Probably way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? I think it's about time to unwrap this toy's testimony. That's the spirit, Nick. Give him heckin'. The judge has that dazed and confused look again. Maybe you should get out more. Look, I have the ring. Frillo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're going to double team me now. Dude, shut up. You recognize this ring? That's mine. Give it back, thief. Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here? What's going on here? That's Ben, say something. Don't put me on the spot like that, Trillo. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean a room they put money? Like a bank vault? Huh, that filthy monkey's gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quiz, I would prefer you avoided slandering my innocent fiats in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money is really a monkey in every sense of the word. See. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things he can find and gather them up. Shiny things? Trillo, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night. The night of the crime? What did you just say? Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Yow! Goddamn monkey. Ben, what's with you? Well, whatever. It has nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trillo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing, not I, Mr. Trilloquist. What'd you do when the ring was taken, Trillo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-snatching monkey Money. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? it's all this loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be? There's a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? Not a theory, he actually just admitted to... Okay, whatever. I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting shit. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist who keeps punching his owner in the face? Oh, I thought he was gonna have me... Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He's blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him. I no doubt about it. I saw that witness, that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. I've told you so many times you'd think you'd know my story's not changing. Already changed your story, stick boy, and I'm sure it will change some more. If there's one lie, there are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. I'll give you that I was waiting for that night for Regina, but that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max? That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him? How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about, I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Will do, Your Honor. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night? That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should know how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think someone would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trilla. You saw Max coming out of the big top that night. Of course that's where I saw him coming from. Standing at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. At what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. I don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Said 10 more minutes, I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? What time was it? Ah, yeah, I'm not good at... it was 10:10 p.m. Ah, yes, that sounds about right. It sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the scene. You testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. He didn't actually ask a question. He actually made a statement, but splitting hairs. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? It's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You've got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trillo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trillo. Mr. Quist, I'd prefer if you kept your ventriloquist's act outside of the courtroom. Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. Got to be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? Strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I'd understand. Ow, that hurt. Maybe you should think of having someone having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in the world. You should have learned that back in grade school. Oh, you mean after my proof shit on your last case? Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. We're 100% absolutely sure of what you just said. I told you already. Jeez, I'm 100% absolutely sure. There's no way that he could be any more confident than that, right? Those three ridiculous symbols, huh? Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? You're gonna ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you very much. Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you? But it's fun shouting out what everyone else does. Trillo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument, a disagreement at most. Disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. Ah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Like what just happened to me? Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on stand. There is no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say, good evening, to his rival. Whoa! Are you saying this witness is lying? That he's just trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime? I didn't tell a single lie, honestly, I just... That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? It's my belief that the witness didn't see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. It's a conclusory statement. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all, which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or, good evening, as he put it. What in the world, you? Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trillo saw that evening? I don't know one of these two. Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor, it's not Regina. If it wasn't Regina, Trillo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah, I suppose you got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trillo, isn't that correct? The leading question. Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Order, order! How do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. Thought it was the old man. Suddenly it was Max. Okay. Okay. I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica, or is it the ringmaster, Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's three symbols. Three symbols? Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You've got to remember them by now. Here we go again, everyone all together now. Oh! Yes, we know. The SoCat cloak and the white roses. SoCat and a cloak, anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's three symbols. However, do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? Could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. What? Miss Von Kama, do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, that doesn't sound like a clear no. If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we finally won a point in this one. That is very unfortunate. Huh? You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to that question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing, that there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare the next witness. Court is now in recess.